Hey guys, and welcome back to another Blender tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to model this clock in Blender. This is going to be a two-part series where I model the clock and then add color and maybe even some animation. So let's get started. Let's open up a new Inkscape file, and now let's start by adding a plane. Just like that, and we'll give it an emission light source. Switch over to Cycles Render and add emission. Now, a lot of this is made out of just spheres. So let's start out first by making the bell. So to start out, now we're going to create the sphere and a cube. Now let's position the cube halfway on the ball, just like that, and make it a little bigger, and do that again. So move it up a little bit, add a modifier, boolean, select the sphere, difference, apply. So now you move this over. Oops, I selected the wrong object first. Let's do that. Okay, now let's select the sphere, boolean, then select the square, difference, apply. Okay, so now that we have that, you can tell now it's just half of a sphere, which is what we want. You can go ahead and delete the square, take the sphere, copy it, and let's bring this down to about right there. It's good thickness. So then we're going to select this, difference this, and now you have your bell. So that's one of the bells. We're going to go ahead and smooth that out, and that looks good. Yep, so now let's add another sphere. Let's make this one bigger. Think about right there, and good proportion with the bells that we're going to have. Because just about everything is made from spheres, so let's bring this all the way up. Just like that, okay. So now we're going to cut off the sides, and that looks like a good size. So let's make a cube, scale it up, or actually just make it about that big. That'll work, okay. So now go up to top view, 7, 5 orthographic view. Actually, let's bring this up a little bit, just like that. So I'm going to put this right there. I'm just going to line it up, that one there, and copy it, bring it over, and line it up with this line. Bring it back. Now that we got those, that looks like a good distance and everything like that. So let's go ahead and boolean these real quick. There we go. Now let's delete this block and this block, and we have that kind of rough shape of the clock. Let's rotate this along the y-axis. I think let's try like 20. No, let's try 20 degrees. I think that's still too much. Let's try 15. There we go. 15 looks good. Actually, I think a little more of an angle. I think 20 would work. Put it matches along with the curve. Looks good. Now we're gonna RZ 180 degrees and move that one right here. Make sure everything looks pretty similarly spaced, just like that. That looks very nice. Now we're going to add just a cylinder and scale it down about the size of the post. I have a clock in front of me that I'm modeling it after, so that makes it a little easier. Face selection. Make this a little taller, just like that. That looks good. Now we're going to rotate this on the y-axis 20 degrees as well. And let's put it into place with just a little bit of overhang coming out the top. Like that. That's good. Now we're going to copy that, rotate it on the z-axis 180 degrees, and move that one over. Now that we got that, the bells are attached. So let's put little bolts that would go on top of them. For those, I'm just going to use a sphere. Scale it down. About right there. A little one. Put that in right there. Okay, now let's move that one right there as well. And that looks great. Now we can add the little inset, and this is pretty easy. Just Shift D, copy this, bring it out. And before we do that, actually, what I'm going to do is round some of this stuff out. First of all, we can just smooth out some of this stuff. That'll a little bit. That'll make it look a little better. We're going to, on this, copy it. Wait. Okay. Now we're going to go into edge selection and select all the edges. Or actually, we can go into face selection. Select the face and bevel it just a little bit and round it just by moving the middle mouse wheel up. Now we got that. See, that helps a lot. So now let's do the same thing over here. Let's do a little bit of a bevel. Not too much. And let's go with that. That looks good. Now let's copy it. Bring it over, scale it down, and insert it a little bit into the clock. Now I think this one I will make smooth, so we get more of a smooth boolean in there. Now let's make sure we have the correct depth. So to get that, we can go into wireframe mode and move it in as far as we want the inset to go. Probably around right there is what we want. Back into solid. Select this, boolean, and difference it. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and delete that. Whoa. Why did it do that? Okay, I'm going to take off smooth. Maybe that messed something up. There we go. Why? What? That is weird. I'm not sure what's wrong with the clock. Whoa. Okay, now it's back to normal. So now let's put the clock, this piece in here a little bit. Let's try it again. What? Okay, let's do that a little later in the project. So now let's add the legs. And the legs are actually very similar to the rest of the body itself. So if we select this, let's move it up, oops. So the clock up a little bit, just like that. We can copy these. Not that. Nope. Oops. We're going to go ahead and copy the posts that hold the bells. Just like that. Bring them down. Rotate them. Just like that. Bring them in a little more. And that looks good. That's what the legs are. Now let's get rid of. Okay. Let's try this again. Make sure there's not two. Let's copy it. Bring it over. Scale it down. Add modifier, boolean. Select which one you want, and it's that one. Things look good. Difference. Whenever I difference it, this one should cut an indent into it. Maybe it's just a render, or maybe it'll show up in the render. Because that is really weird. I've never had to do that before. I just did this and it worked. So let me good. Let's zoom out a bit with the camera. Just like this. I don't know, we'll try rendering it. And it still does that, so we'll do that in the next tutorial whenever we add the boolean for the inset and add the hands and actually animate the hands and stuff like that. Now let's add the bell, which is a very important part of this. Oops, let's not do that. Okay, so for the bell, we're just going to create a cylinder, scale her down, and bring this up, copy it, rotate it, so you rotate it 90, oops, I just selected the circle, you don't want to be in, so right here, that's a good length. Go back into object mode, rotate it, just like this, 90. Oh, there we go. Bring it up, over, just like this. Now let's center it, just like that. Go back into edit mode and scale up some of the faces so it'll get wider at the ends. Oh, not what I want. Just think that's good. And then we're going to bevel these. A little bit of bevel, just like that. A rounded bevel. That looks great. We can go ahead and smooth that out. That looks like a hammer. Smooth that out. Smooth this out so everything's smooth. And make sure it's in our shot, which it is not at all. Move this back up. Get it in our frame. Move our plane. Be much bigger. Just like that. So in the next tutorial we'll be adding color and kind of maybe even animating the hands once we get them on. So I hope this video was useful. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.